This is in Tillamook just this morning. This is 3 or 4 situations with him just in Tillamook, plus several situations with rest areas outside of Tillamook, as well as several times within the National Forest outside of Tillamook. Alright, so my stalker from Hood River is here. This guy with the dolphin on the creek up with the kids. Now here he is in the Starbucks staring right at me. He's been at this for several months, following me around Oregon. Creeps me out, so of course I'm making sure I record it for my own safety. Also, in order to avoid any complications, like the folks who work here at Starbucks, I am shutting down my computer and leaving. This guy's already followed me to 3 or 4 locations just here in this town alone. This ain't okay. His dog's nice. I'm gonna leave this recording. People like his dog. His dog's pretty cool, actually. Anyway, that's the guy who thought my name was the N-word. Kept on calling me the N-word. He's on my videos calling me the N-word. You know, I would have believed this was a coincidence if it hadn't been so many locations in Hood River, and then since Hood River, and it keeps coming back to wherever I'm at. That's not okay. So I gotta turn him in today. I would have recorded it on my telephone, but I left that in my car apparently. See if we can find a way to keep this up. And, right side of these steps, something to record it with. Let's see if I can get out without falling over. At least this dog is nice. With him creeping on Sheena and Logan the way through trying to get violent with me and McDonald's and the river, as well as several other altercations and situations, including him trying to expose his genitalia to me through the back of his camper. So, of course, I'm going to make sure that I'm recording as long as he is in the same building with me. I figure he's going to stare at me, stare back. This ain't like Chapel, Nebraska, where it's a tiny town and you're gonna run into your fucking predators no matter where you go. Just as a matter of coincidence, because there's one fucking grocery store. That's why it's important to turn in predators like Leslie Snell. They did the things that they did to prevent me from turning them in, and they committed a lot of felonies in the process. Meanwhile, I have to deal with assholes like this, actual fucking stalkers, actual fucking predators. And all these services, they just want to put my name on their list so that they can get money for services they're not providing.
Light right there indicates that it's still on. That light will turn from white to orange, and when it turns from orange to turned off, that's when my computer is down.
That light right there.
It's still doing its thing. It's still staring at me. Now the cops on the river claim they told him to leave me alone, but he hasn't been. This guy's the creepiest. Alright, it's not even close to the creepiest. There's a lot of creepy people on the road. Alright, my computer is finally shut down. And I can leave this place. The employees here, they're nice. I don't want them to be issues. And there's definitely gonna be issues. That old man keeps harassing me. Now, those issues will involve the police. Of course, I don't want these people here to have to deal with that either. That doesn't just make it suck for them. It has the potential to make things worse for me, and I just want to get the hell away from this guy.
Sorry, that's the reflection. It's not my actual iPad thing. I had to sit it down so I could pack my stuff up. We're only about halfway through.
Sorry about that. That old guy, he was instructed by the cops in Hood River to leave me alone. He drives that Dolphin. The guy was just in here with the dog. And he's followed me to 3 towns since. He's been stalking me and harassing me. He goes to wherever I go. He just stands there and stares at me and waves at me. And there was some situations with some kids in Hood River that he was perving on, and he's not allowed back there, but now he's following me around everywhere I go.
Do you have to restrain order?
That's one of the things about being homeless is that it makes it almost impossible to get anything like that done. Police don't really like us. It's just assumed that we're all junkies for the most part. So I mean, the cops did tell me in Hood River that they instructed him to leave me alone, but I mean, this is 4 times he stopped here, just but the 3 times here at the Fred Meyers while I'm
It's
there.
personal?
Of course it's personal. I told the cops on him. The stuff that he was doing there, attempting to assault me, threatening to assault me, all the other stuff, exposing his genitalia at me. And that's not including the 3 other people that it was going on with. So,
Let me know if I can do anything about it.
yes, ma'am. I'm gonna go call one of the ladies here that I'm supposed to call her up if I see him again, and I'll see what she says to do if there's anything.
Anyway, that lady, I have her name. She works here in Fred Meyers, and so when I go talk to that lady, so I gotta go see Tom at 2 up at his storage. He said if he's up there early, he'll call me, and if he's gonna be late, he'll call me. It is 12:51, so it's like an hour away. I'm not sure how many of y'all have had to deal with the cops. Usually it takes more than an hour, especially if I go talk to the lady that I need to talk to first. And I do need to talk to her first, because otherwise the cops are going to ignore blatant law breaking, repeated. And of course, since there's multiple occasions in this town already where they've blown off me, my situation, my disabilities, and how vulnerable I am in this situation, somebody does need to be there and present for it, and they do need to be aware of the tactics and how to ensure that the victim's safety is actually taken into account by the police, because that is ultimately what their job is supposed to be. Not to protect rich people's money and not to spend millions of taxpayers' dollars to harass, threaten, and intimidate homeless people while ignoring crimes against the homeless people. All the money that is spent to lock us up because we told on bad cops. Then you say, oh, well, you know, if you're not breaking the law, you shouldn't be afraid. No, you absolutely do have to be afraid. It doesn't matter if you're breaking the law or not. If you are smoking pot and somebody rapes you, it's still rape. It's still against the law. If you're a male and you're raped, it's still rape and it's still against the law. We're going to finish up the other half of that video later on. It's mostly me getting the hell out of there, packing up my stuff, getting in my car, and starting a video. This shit needs to stop, and until somebody actually steps the fuck in to intervene, you actually have to get involved. Alright, here's the thing. When I see somebody being racist, I could either stand there and watch and allow it to happen, or I can intervene. I can do the right thing. You say to mind my business. But then when I'm in my business, you tell me silence is violence. You tell me it's my fault. My fault. My fault. You're allowed to look the other way, aren't you? No matter what, there's two sides to every piece of bullshit that you have to tell me. You tell me I'm selfish, right? Because I'm trying to get the stuff that I'm going through stopped. But it's not just me. What I'm going through includes all of those who are threatened, harassed, and intimidated, who are going to help me. It includes all of the things that are done to cut me off from being able to get the help I need in a timely and efficient manner. The cops broke a lot of fucking laws, and somebody does need to be involved, especially where they're the most at-risk people in the country. The homeless and the disabled. Homeless, disabled males are number one on the list of who is most likely to be victimized in the United States. Being white just means that you apparently deserve it to much of the public. You don't get an honest day in court. You don't get an honest chance. Joseph Michael Lopez got more of an honest chance than I did. I tried to show evidence, but you know what? There's a reason that they had to prevent me from taking them to court before they could get a conviction on Lopez. What those officers did in Lopez's case, as well as many other officers afterwards to try to cover that shit up, well, it's the same thing they did in Chapel. And the same thing that'll happen here if nobody is going to actually step up. If I see a black man getting beaten down because he's a black man, no other reason than he's black, and I just watch it happen, well, what happens if I do get involved? If I don't get involved, it's silence is violence. If I do get involved, it's you should have minded your own business. No matter what, you got some excuse why it's always my fault, but you don't apply those excuses to Natalie or any of my other predators. No, I have the wrong genitalia, so I must be the bad guy, and that's how it is sold in all of these fucking web sleuth groups. And all of these YouTube videos by all of these true crime things, and they can't even get my fucking age right. They still, not a single one of those has gotten my age right. If they can't even get my age right, what the fuck makes you think any of the other information they have is correct? Meanwhile, we got cops refusing to help me and refusing to acknowledge my vulnerabilities and my disabilities because I'm cognitive. That means I know what's going on around me. It means that I'm not exhibiting signs of schizophrenia or delusions or dementia. But then, of course, when I try to turn in the cops because they blew me off, then they want to play the mentally ill, he's mentally unstable, he's this, he's that. They can't make up their goddamn minds. If I try to explain to them calmly, they blow me off. Oh, sure, they talk nice. They blow me off with nice sounding words, nice sounding voice, but the fact is they are breaking the law in doing so, and that is where my issue is. I tell them that I'm an at-risk adult. I don't get to explain to them why. They're too busy explaining to me that I'm fine. They don't fucking know. They're not bothering to find out. They're not looking at my... Shit, I got my medical records in my motherfucking car. Most of them, anyway. The things that were claimed about me and my medical records show completely different scenarios. So why is it that evidence was never allowed in court? Why is it that public pretenders refused to do their goddamn jobs? Didn't even show up for multiple court dates in multiple locations. Did not inform me of the consequences, lied to me. Not only did they not show up for court, they had a bunch of no-call, no-shows for the meetings that we were supposed to have. And that includes every single time that I was told to go see an investigator. An investigator through the public pretender's office. 100% of the time they were a no-call, no-show. 100% of the time when my public pretenders like Zoe Tanner and Amanda Balehash told me to go see this investigator, 100% of the time the investigator did not show up. Ever. Not once did my public pretenders make any goddamn effort to look at the fucking evidence. Not even once. Because like I said, when you're called mentally ill, anybody can do anything they want to you at any point in time. And get away with it just by calling you mentally ill. Anyway, I got a giant mess on my vehicle. I gotta try to make some money, and also I gotta jump through a bunch of hoops. The guy with the dolphin is still here. I don't know what to do. I speak up on my YouTube channel because realistically I know that at least if I speak up on my YouTube channel, it is said, it is public. My intentions are stated very loud and very clear. And you get to see that when I tried to turn in the cops. Repeatedly, how I spoke my intention very loud and very clear. That I was trying to turn them in, and you get to see immediately following those where there's me getting locked up trying to turn those cops in. You get to hear phone call after phone call where I am instructed to go to literally the same officers by name, or of course transferred to the very officers by name. Told that these are the officers who are going to investigate it. I have to go to the officers I'm trying to turn in to have them investigate it. People like Amanda Jonas, Officer Amanda Jonas of Longmont, Colorado, as well as Officer Burke. He was supposed to be involved in the Natalie Bollinger situation before Natalie was killed, according to Amanda Jonas. He was one of the officers who lost his job in Adams County because he's fucking crooked, so they hired him on in Boulder County at the Longmont Police Department. They did this with over 20 of the officers who took part in the threats, harassment, intimidation, and assaults. This is not okay. by preventing me from turning in those officers and by pressing false charges against me repeatedly. Well, this all shows why it is that an at-risk adult needs someone there. We're supposed to, by law, have someone there. But they just pretend that I'm not disabled so they can deny me the right to that person. And then they play the mentally ill card heavily to deny me the right to show my evidence. So I'm sane when it suits them and I'm crazy when it suits them, and fuck any of you who support this bullshit. Screw every goddamn one of you who pretended to care but still to this day never spoke up. Speaking up doesn't mean somebody has to twist your fucking arm to get you to tell the goddamn truth. Oh, I made one post. You feel better? No, dude, I fucking don't. You're going out of your way to fucking ignore me. I told all of those people on my Facebook, get the fuck off my Facebook. Don't pretend to be my fucking friend. This is 6 years of this shit. 6 years of you looking the other way. Good to be ready. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind.